Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between the Houston Oilers and the Houston Texans. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Oilers and the Houston Texans. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
On the other side of the field for our visitors here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Orchestrating the offense will be a man who, of course, won a national title back in his days at Clemson, Deshaun Watson.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Hey, back 22.
Watson on first down. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Still going. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
DeAndre Hopkins was named All-Pro for the first time in 2017. And really don't have to do much but look at the statistics to know why. 4 touchdown grabs in 2016, jumped that up to 13 in 2017. That led all NFL receivers. Also added in 96 catches and close to 1,400 yards. DeAndre Hopkins' ability to get free in the secondary is a marvel, mainly because of head fakes and body control.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And his kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Nice little juke. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Here we go now.
Operating from the gun, Murray. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Here's Murray. He finds Ross. Right side, it's complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now they try the right side here. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And, Brandon, as we continue to see, so much of the influence on this game is now coming from those hybrid-type players. In this case, strong safety, not worried about covering the pass. What a play on the run.
Tackled for a loss.
Yeah, forget the pregame introductions. Introduced himself with authority on that play.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss.
3-19.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 23 yards on the play.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. It's a quarterback sneak. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
Okay, I'll admit it. I'm a little surprised by that call. 2nd and inches. It did what it was intended, but it felt like it was a free play waiting to happen. I thought they might take a shot.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 12 on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And they wasted no time right down near the goal line, and they just sneak it in.
Just do what you need to do. Big guys going up front. Have the field general, the leader, just fall in behind them.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. Twisting away. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now it's Watson, a bootleg. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath, sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there.
Down! Black 22! Black!
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Well, look now at our starting defense. This unit, 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it.
Still second down.
Discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. For a right side here, complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Watson now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Watson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They go back to the ground with Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Watson. They shakes it off. Going deep for Hopkins. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are in for 6. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it results in the Texans finding the end zone. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's able to get out to the 32. Brought down there. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. 1 quarter down. 10-7 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and our drive continues here to start quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Murray now. The quick hitter complete. It's Ross. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, Murray. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. From the gun, Murray. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Now let's go.
Now they'll run on the draw. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Throw left side complete to Ross. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. I talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's well on his way to a 1,000-yard season, maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him?
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, here's Watson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Watson. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
These two offenses have gone up and down the field so far in the first half. Finally, I say, here's a stop on 3rd down.
Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away. It's taken to the 26. Oh, able to avoid him. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, will go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. He's going to sling. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
And the Texans set to come onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does. And the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 83 yards receiving now for him on the afternoon as he's got a 1st down here.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another 1st down with that run.
On 1st down, they'll run it on the draw play. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Hey, back 22.
To throw on third down, Watson. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, feel the confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game, the effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. Murray looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Higgins. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Off play action. Murray. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A big boot that time. 57 yards, the official distance. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Drops it to Jones in the flat. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and dropped shy of the 45. Officially a minute 54 to go in this 1st half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And now back out comes the offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. To throw on second down. Murray. Pass incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw. Murray. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. On 1st and 10, Murray. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Off the bootleg. Murray. He'll buy some time, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. DJ Reader breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. The offense on 3rd down, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Here we go.
Operating from the gun, Murray. And got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Calvin Ridley in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are going to take the lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Extra point attempt to follow here. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 17-10 score. So that drive goes 8 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. The final shot before the break. Watson. And he It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start our tour out in the city of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Redskins who have the lead in that one. The Redskins lost in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we head east to Cleveland to check on the Browns at home at First Energy Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Baker Mayfield has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, we're off to the Rocky Mountains, Denver, Colorado. See what's happening with the Broncos. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. The Broncos trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. Oh, a heck of a move. Man. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched. Murray fighting, lost the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Watson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Faking the give. Now Watson steps away. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I liked his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. And his kick here is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And now running right through it. Still fighting. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A huge play there for Houston. Give him 52 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Flushed out right. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Murray. And that is caught, but he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
On 3rd down, Murray. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense have felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 4-6 defense, they were daring him to run the football. They ran it. A little football 101. Take us through what the 4-6 defense is, Charles.
So what you're trying to do with your big defensive front is cover the interior offensive lineman, the center, and the 2 guards, and make it difficult if you even want to think about running the ball inside. If you can control them, that allows the linebackers and the safeties to run free and get to the ball carriers. And that play worked really well. No gain.
The Texans on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Down. Green, 39. Green, 39.
A shotgun snap for Watson. He finds Hopkins complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Now they try the right side here. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw. Murray. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Red, green, the line.
To throw is Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Jones. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
Green, the line. Green, the line.
Watson now. From the gun, he'll throw. A dump underneath to Jones. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
And here now the offense heading back out there. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
All right, here we go.
second down. Here's an option right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
Throwing on third and long. Murray. And that is incomplete.
And the C pass is knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated full. The linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Spins away. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And here comes the Texans now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But
I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Hey, blue 80. Blue 80.
Back to throw, Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. Try to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Brandon, it's not a bad time to take a shot downfield. You've got a 1st and 5, but you've got to hope that the worst thing that comes out of it is an incompletion. Instead, this is good coverage, and it winds up being intercepted.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. Murray, throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, Murray. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Down. Green.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs.
But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
Watson to throw on 2nd down. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go larga. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
And they'll run it here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's loose, and the Texans scoop it, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely, nursing that slip, and down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Down. Black 22. Black.
To throw is Watson. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And this is taken in at the 5. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. And give him a gain of 37.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Black 22.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal.
Down. Black 22. Black 22.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag.
False start. Offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
Down. Blue 80. Blue 80.
Here's Watson operating from the gun. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Green 39.
Now Watson on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Well, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 36 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Here we go now. Green 30.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray, throw left side complete. It's Ross. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Watson now to throw. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Watson toward the sideline. He will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Again, it's Watson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down, but they are in field goal range already. To the air yet again, Watson. To the sideline, and he will have the first down as he was able to keep the feet in bounds. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. He's back to throw. Forced out to his left. And it's a touchdown. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
They get one more as the extra point's up and good, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that one an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. picked off at about the 31. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for him. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for him here.
This is Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. And Watson's going to throw it here. Over the middle, complete. It's Harrington. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Defense.
Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. The give is to Jones. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is indeed good. And that'll make this a 7-point game. But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a 1-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance.
He's got a man, complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A huge play there for Houston. 46 yards. They'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
And now a critical extra point attempt here. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Black 22.
Now it's Watson. Out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Four quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get started?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because
they've got his man complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Space to run past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Wow, Charles, that doesn't just take points off the board. That takes a win off the board.
So now you have to regroup because you've gone from celebrating what you think is a win to trying to figure out how to do it again and make it a win.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
All right, here we go.
To throw on third down, Murray. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light still on for him.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal.
Let's go. 3-19.
He's going to get it running right. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
Here we go.
I didn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And this one is right through. And with that, they will move out in front by 3. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive, they're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Here's Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. On 1st down, Watson. Oh, if he holds on, it's game over. Instead, 2nd down. They sort of got a new lease on life there. If he picks that off, this ball game's over.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I can hear it. My defensive backs coach at Tennessee, a lost opportunity is never regained. Used to drive him crazy when I dropped those potential interceptions, as that one was there.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a 1st down. They wanted to avoid the dreaded 4th down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on 3rd.
I love how you described that because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to 4th down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they? The hands get shaky, right? The throw, if you're going to throw the ball, being able to run it, all of that coming down to one big play. Very nice of them and nice for them to pick it up on 3rd.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, it's Jones. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This a long one to try and keep us going in overtime. And his kick is good. A gut-wrenching moment, but he's able to bang it through from long distance. And they match an earlier OT field goal with one of their own. Just a big-time kick there from a big-time kicker.
I like how you use big-time because we usually say that about position players, don't we? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Well, that goes for kickers as well. And guess what? We're on to sudden death now.
And here now the offense heading back out there. The situation is simple. It is sudden death from here on out. We had 2 stops defensively. The next score, whatever it is, wins this game.
I can't wait to see how the defense decides to play this because knowing that the next point you give up, lose the game for you, I expect them to be more aggressive. Not just play a normal situational defense, but go after them, attack them a little bit because otherwise you're always just trying to find their way to get downfield and kick a field goal. Don't sit back and wait for them to make their plays. I think the defense needs to go after them.
Charles Davis says maybe they go aggressive. To throw on 2nd down, Murray. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Throwing on 1st down, Murray. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. Now the timeout comes here in the waning seconds of this overtime as we could be set up at long last for a potential game winner. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. We thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
So for our visitors, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they will head home next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.